Question and answer time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so I got an email yesterday, and it wasn't a long email, and basically it just said, or basically the question was, John, with all the bad fundamental news out there in the markets, but the government keeps basically propping this market up, will the market ever crash? Or will the market just keep going up? And so that's basically, I guess, the title of this video. Will the stock market ever crash? And the answer to that is that if you look at fundamentals, fundamentals will always play out long term. You can fold, you can push, you can bend that elastic as much as possible. You know, if you think about it, like fundamentals are like an elastic band, right? It's where it is. But if you stretch it and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it and stretch it, right? Like the government, it'll keep trying to push it and push it and push it through stimulus and all that sort of stuff. What eventually happens to that elastic band? Either one, it snaps back to where it should be, or two, the whole thing just snaps and everything and it just crumbles. So that's fundamental analysis for you. Now, what I strongly and firmly believe is that the charts will show us when we're starting to get really, really, really weak. And this could be as simple as just looking at a weekly chart. I'm looking at a weekly Dow Jones chart here. And especially if you have like long-term superannuation or long-term buy and hold investments. Now, I'm not talking about how do you identify the exact top to get out, because no one knows the exact top to get out. No one knows that at all. But what you can do, you can start to say, okay, then if you want to give this a bit more leeway and you want to stay long in the market, here are some things that you want to keep an eye out for, that to say this market is now getting ready to come down. And those things are as simple as bring up a weekly chart on the Dow Jones. Identify where we've got these major areas of support and resistance. So one is this level through here. We have this level of resistance, a support level, or should be a support now, and we have this whole level through here. We have a couple of levels of what should be really massive areas of support. So right now, as I'm doing this video, we've had a bounce off, and on the weekly chart, we've just sort of done nothing for the last couple of days. So theoretically speaking, if we've got a bounce off here, we should actually head up. If it doesn't, it starts to head down, then that could be a weak sign. But that's looking on the short term. If you're looking on the overall picture, what's likely to happen moving forward, right now, it's showing strength. Right? It's showing strength to move to the high side. Now, that could change this week. That could change, that could change within the next few weeks. That's why we need to be flexible. So if the market continues up, obviously, you stay long, right? But and again, guys, I'm not talking about picking tops and bottoms, because no one can really pick a major bottom and no one can really pick a major top. As in, no one can really say, this is the top here. Only broke people try to pick tops and bottoms. I wait for the market to tell me, and then I ride that, right? So one thing I've learned is that in a nice big upward movement, just say this, that's a weekly chart. On the daily chart, let's just have this daily chart, you'd have a nice run up and a swing down, and then a nice one up and a swing down, nice one up, swing down, nice one up, right? So for me personally, I don't like trying to call this the bottom, because there's a good chance you're gonna get the knife. You know what I mean? If you throw the knife in your hand, you're gonna probably catch the knife. I try to wait for the trend to place, and then I try to go long here. And then I probably try to get out here. So I try to get a good maybe 60 to 70% of the move, and then that's it. Okay, so again, I'm trying to illustrate that I'm not trying to pick the top or bottom. So within that, if you know that, look at simple analysis and look at what's actually going on here. If indeed we actually start to break below, let me just take this trend line off here for a minute. And let's have a look at the basically what is happening right now. Okay, so let's just look at this as pure basic analysis that has worked for history. Not my opinion, not my view, nothing like that. Let's just look at it as a black and white point of view. If indeed we have now this is a weekly chart, remember, okay? So if indeed we have this one weekly support, which is strong support, 2 weekly support, and 3 this weekly support. If indeed, which is around the $18,000 level, if indeed the Dow Jones starts to break, and it, just say for example it holds here, I don't know, it could just go straight up like that, right? I don't know, but let's just say for argument's sake, is that if you think the stock market is going to crash, well, obviously you want to see basically get below the lows of these lows here. That'll be the first sign you'd want to see as you get below the 7. Basically, have a weekly close below the 17,400. That'll be this whole 17,200, 17,300, somewhere around about here. That whole 17,200, 17,300. That level there has been a strong support level there for us. So, what I'd want to say is you'd want to see it break below there. But if indeed we actually come down and we break this 1 support, major support, 2 support, 3 support, and we have a nice run down to say to here, and we actually we have a pretty decent drop down, and let's just say that happens. What's likely to happen here, right? We're probably, if that does happen, well, we're probably likely to get a bit of buying movement, all right? So we're getting a bit of buys to the upside. If that does happen, and the market moves to the high side, well, now these areas which should be support are now likely to be resistance, and this whole area here is likely to be resistance. And then again, you're still waiting for that confirmation. And then on this weekly chart, if we start to get some downward movement from there, then this is resistance. This is creating a top, and that to me is showing major weakness. And then we should get a break of that, and we should start to head down. And then if the crash is going to happen, this is the sort of formation that you will see on the charts, right? You won't see it. You won't see it on. Very rarely will the market just go straight down like that. A black swan event we can't see. That's just unpredictable. But looking at the charts, you can see that the market's flowing through. So if you're thinking the market's going to crash, for me, I know fundamentally we're in a bit of a shithole. Fundamentally. But technically, I'm waiting. The charts will show me what's happening. Now, what I mean by that is this. If I go and I bring up this daily chart, and let me show you this daily chart, and let me go back to the last few flash crashes that we've actually had. Right, so let me just go back to here. I'm gonna talk about actually let me just bring up the last couple of flash crashes. So what do we actually have here? And again, this is just simple but basic analysis. What do we actually have here? Well, the market came off, and guess what it did? It started creating these lower peaks, lower troughs, and it started creating lower peaks, lower troughs, and it came down, and then we started getting some serious movement on the downside. Now, you don't know when that's going to happen, but you can see that the market is starting to show you something is not right by looking at these lower peaks and lower peaks and lower peaks, right? Same back here, right? The market ran up, the Dow Jones ran up like it did actually back here, and it failed through here, just went sideways, and then it came down. Now, I'm not saying it's going to do this because every time's a bit different, so you've got to be flexible. The market ran down, came back up, created a small lower peak, came down, small lower trough, came up just a slight lower peak, it came down, and then we had to move down. So as you can see, once again, that the charts are showing us with these lower peaks that something is not right here. So that's what I'll be looking at for. And the same thing on the daily chart. If we start to get a drop and it drops all the way down through here, and then suddenly we get a run back up, and then suddenly we start to get dropped back down, you bets believe I'm going to be shorting the crap out of the market there. Why? Because of everything I've just said in this video. So the question for this video was, is the stock market going to crash? Yes, I believe it's going to happen. I believe over the next 12 months or so, we're going to get a big downward movement. Now, just remember, guys, when I say crash, it takes probably a good 12 months to see the whole thing unravel. A crash doesn't happen one day. We don't see, we don't see a 10,000 point drop in the Dow in one day. Whenever I've said, and the reason I'm saying this is because in the past I said a crash is coming soon. Well, some people think, oh, well, it didn't happen today, John. No. If you look at any history, a crash happens over several months. A crash happens over say 12 months to a couple of years. Now, I think this one's going to be a bit quicker, and I think by the same time this time next year, we're going to be deep into the recession. Yes, I do, fundamentally. But that's just my thoughts. How I'm going to trade that is exactly what I'm telling you on this video. So there we go, guys. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, share it, and let me know what you actually thought about this video. I'd love to hear from you. I'm just sharing with you stuff, guys, that has literally helped me over the last 12 years of being involved with the markets, and not trying to pick tops, not trying to pick bottoms or anything like that. Just flowing with the market and doing what is what I call like a connective together. We have the fundamentals and the technicals, and once they come together, they seem to be really good trade. Like my silver trade, fundamentally it's an amazing trade, fundamentally, and technically it's an amazing trade. Those come together and it's up a couple of 100%. So wait for those things together, and that's what I'm looking for, guys. And again, I'm looking to, I have put on a smaller short positions. I've got stopped out 3 times. Now I'm waiting for a big position I'm looking to put on, and I'm waiting for that correct time to get involved with it. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.